right, here we go. All right, welcome to the Dr. Jaime Show. I am so glad that you have stuck around, if not more people have even joined for the second half of the show. On the first half of the Dr. Jaime Show, we met with April O'Leary and Jessica Higdon, who wrote The Networking Revolution. Amazing book, and great if you're looking to start your own at-home business or a business of any kind at the start of 2017. They told us some of the pitfalls not to fall into, the things to step over. We debunked myths, and they gave us tips and strategies on how to build a business. So check out their book. You can go to Amazon and check out The Networking Revolution. But right now, in the background, I am so excited that Anthony Amos and his entire family are here to talk to us about Bathe to Save. What is this business, and what are they doing to help animals? They are going to talk to us about this on the show. And they arrived in a gigantic blue bus. So if you go to my Facebook page, you will see this enormous bus that is sitting outside of my house right now. So some people get mad, like you get mad at neighbors if there's like 4 cars in the driveway. I have a bus, so I'll see how this ends up for me after the show. No, I'm just kidding. I'm so excited that they're here. But some admin, for those of you that weren't here for the first half of the show, I want to update you on some of the guests that we have coming up. So we are going to take a break next week, and we are going to come back on 12/23, December 23rd. We are going to have a special segment at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a band, Rob Herbert and Craig Thompson with Bathe Entertainment. After this show ends, I highly encourage you to go to YouTube and check out Rob Herbert and Craig Thompson and listen to them. And on the show that day, they're going to play for us after they do the interview. So stay tuned. It's going to be an amazing show. That's the 23rd. And then we resume. We take off the rest of December to be with our family, enjoy the holiday. And we are going to resume on January 6th with sex therapist Day Sheridan. And we are going to talk about all things sex. So what a way to bang in the new year. Ha ha ha. Yes, the point was intended. So on the 13th, we're going to have Angela Ardolino, and she was the founder of Tampa Bay Parenting Magazine. And recently, she sold that, and she launched Canna Cure. And this company cultivates the purest medical cannabis. And we are going to figure out and see a little bit, get some insight and exactly what she's doing in this business. And then on the 20th of January, we're having Mario and Diane. They wrote a book called Relovinship. We're going to talk about all things relationship, but we're going to hone in a little bit on how do you not take your baggage from one relationship and bring it into the next relationship. And then the last Friday of January, that is the 27th, we're having Steve Fidrich on the show. And he's going to talk about overcoming depression. We're going to journey with him and through what he experienced in depression after a tragic accident. This is a great show for those of you that are overcoming depression, trying to work through it, but also for those of you that don't understand how people can become depressed. It'll be a great educational series for you on the 27th. That being said, I can't wait any longer. Do you have any idea how long I've been waiting for this man and his family to come on? We have had hurdles. We have faced barriers. They have broken down in North Carolina and got it up and running just to be here. I am so grateful and thankful. Anthony and family, can you please come on out? Yay! I need music or something, right? Give me hugs. Thank you for making it across the country. His beautiful wife. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming. Give me a handshake. Thank you. Yeah, take a seat. You're here. Yeah, finally. Okay. That's okay. Oh my goodness, you're here. Yes. So he was supposed to be on the show for those of you that follow us a couple Fridays ago, and it's okay that he canceled. Why? Because he was called to Larry King. Yes. The Larry King, is that right? The Larry King. Yeah, and there is proof in the picture, so I couldn't get mad at him all over Facebook. So why don't you each tell me a little bit about you, what you do, just general, and then we'll get into the business. After I learn about you, though, we're gonna turn to a quote that's behind you, and you're going to tell me whether or not you agree with the quote. And I did pull the quote from the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, which I think these kids might know 1 or 2 of them, at least 1 of them. So I want to hear the story on how they know the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. But Anthony, why don't you take the lead here real quick and tell us about you, and we'll get into the business in a minute. But who are you? Where are we getting information from today?
Well, gee, it's turning into a bit of a long thing now, isn't it? Well, obviously we're all from Australia, and we came over here and brought Hydrodog over to, which is the big blue dog that we tow behind it. And after a few adjustments, I mean, the business in Australia is over 200 of them. So I started that when I was 21, grew to a great successful franchise. We brought it to the US. The trailer model didn't work, so we put it on the back of a transit van. And then, you know, the family, we just sort of got to a situation where we wanted to give back. And the kids came up with the idea of wanting to help the shelter dogs, because, you know, those jerky, teary ads where, you know, it's all about, that's
Yes.
And that's where it started. So, you know, then Rachel came up with the idea that we should get a 40-foot RV and tow it around the country. So
I don't know what
I love it. She's like having some wine, and she's like a 40-foot RV. Yeah.
We had just rented an RV for Christmas vacation, and we had the best time. And it's great for 2 weeks. So I don't know, it was a moment of madness, and I said, well, why don't we do this? Because we don't, you know, we can do what we do from anywhere. So let's do this and travel the country, and, you know, really teach the kids the value of giving back, because I mean, a lot of, you know, it kind of gets lost these days. So with what the kids do, and I'll explain that, but with what they do, they don't get paid for it. There's no pocket money. There's no, you know, they just do it out of it, and they work their little butts off. So it's really cool that they're getting this experience, and they're seeing a lot of the country. Well, they're going to be seeing every piece of the country.
Where have you been so far?
We've been all kind of like from here through to across to the West Coast, all up the West Coast to Seattle, across to New York. We've been to a lot of places, but with the tour, it's going to be taking us for the next 12 months. We're going to be doing the whole route.
Wow.
The whole route.
So your moment of madness has become 12 months.
It's become 12. It's actually sort of, we've been on the road now like for about 6 months and or a little bit more, but just testing the waters. So the next 12 months, the plan will be in every state, every capital city. The kids are going to be talking in front of schools and you know, sending the message of what, you know, responsible pet ownership is and adoption and the benefits of adopting, not shopping.
Oh, well, you know, speaking of teaching kids, so my son and I were reading a book. He's learning to read, and he was reading a book about poodles, and it said in there, pet ownership, it says you have to feed the dog, but every day, and you have to give him water every day, and you also have to walk him every day, and then he needs haircuts, like it's a poodle, so they were like weekly or bi-weekly, and he's like, at the end he goes, this is a lot. And I'm like, this is why we're not getting an animal right now, because they think,
and it's a lifetime commitment. Well, it's for the you know, it's a commitment, and that's what I think a lot of people don't get. It's a lifetime commitment with this animal. So
absolutely,
you really need to make sure that you're all ready to do whatever it is that you know, wherever you are, you need to be able to do, you know, and look after the animals, and that's why we travel with 3 rabbits as well, because we could.
We got the rabbits.
Whose idea was the rabbits?
Well, they had the rabbits. They had the rabbits before we started the tour, so it's very difficult to say to the kids that the rabbits can't come. And it was, we didn't really have a spot for them. I mean, they were under the kitchen table there for a while. And now we've culled everything. It's funny when you go from a nice home into the RV, you want as much as you can. Then everything that's underneath it stays there for a month that you never use. We've got like mates of ours around the country with their garage with our stuff, because every time we cull, we take stuff out, and then we go again, and then all of a sudden now there's enough room in the dog to actually have the rabbits on the grooming table and the dog. So they live in their own little gazebo now, don't they?
And the kids take them for walks, and it's, I mean, they have a great life. Our animals have a great life on the road. They get to see the country.
I love it. I love it, but it's a commitment, and that's something to even think about as a pet owner when you're going out of this for anything. You could be driving down the road to Orlando overnight. What are you gonna do with your dog? Like, you have to think about that. You have to, or take your rabbits on a 12-month tour. Like, you didn't think that when you got the rabbit. But one of the things when I was younger, when I first had my first son, we wanted to get a dog, and we went to like one of these events that they have where they're giving away dogs, you know, just kind of a charity or whatever, a charity type thing or something. And they said, no, we couldn't have a dog because we had children in the home under age 5.
Yeah.
And I could not understand that, and I was so irritated and frustrated. Now I get it.
Yeah.
Because you give so much time, you know, with growing family.
Yeah.
It's hard, it's not easy. They are like a human.
This is what I love about the rescues that we've been involved in, the shelters, that we've seen the process of how people are able to adopt a dog or not able to, and the criteria is so strict. So you can't sort of just walk in there, and you know, you have to be checked on so many different levels, and make sure that the dog that you want to adopt is going to fit with the family that you have, so, and the lifestyle that you live. So I love that fact. Like, I think this country's doing that thing really right as far as like really you know, vetting who adopts dogs and who doesn't get them.
I think they just adopt dogs because they don't like people.
He's actually probably speaking truth. So, okay, anything else that you want to tell us about you specific, Anthony, before we move on to your beautiful wife?
Well, nothing specific, I guess. We've been working so hard in the franchising world and having this big blue dog that we wanted to bring to the country. I mean, Hydro Dog is the #1 component to the tour, because when the tour's over, Hydro Dog then comes in and looks after the legacy. So one day a month, Hydro Dog will be at that particular shelter that we created a relationship with. That, you know, we washed all those dogs out, then the event the next day, and they're going to pick up the pieces pretty much and keep that legacy. Once a month they have to come in and wash all the dogs at the shelters. So if we've got 200 like there are in Australia, and a franchisee just saves 1 dog a month, that's 200 dogs a month we're going to be saving. And what I love the most about the tour is when somebody's interested in a grooming franchise, are they going to look at us and say, this big blue dog raised $1 million, it saved thousands of dogs' lives, and we want to be a part of that culture? Or are they going to say, let's just purchase a dog washing franchise? So we're doing a lot of front end, but at the end of the day, we're making such a difference, and the kids are getting such a great lesson. I think that's overpowered the whole process of just bringing in so many relationships. I mean, the shows that we've been on are blowing us away right now.
The Dr. Jaime Show.
I know, the Dr. Jaime. How can you get on? But yeah, it's just building, and you know, I guess the thing about, you know, being able to have the opportunities for the kids is great.
It's great bonding time as a family.
It's great bonding time. We have our moments as the kids get older, but you know,
it's actually really cool because they're little adults and they really pitch in and they do.
System. There's no doubt they're not along for the free ride. They're in there and they work really, really hard. On the dog wash day, they'll wash the dogs, they'll take the money, they'll text the customer, they'll make sure it's all set up, and they'll make it work. So Rachel and I are sort of, you know, talking to the powers that be. But while we're doing that, rather than us having to get in and set up and pack up and wash the dogs, they honest to God, they do it all. And the lady that is a part of the Wild group that flew down from Milwaukee, she's a big part of one of the major partners, strategic partners. She's like, I just can't believe how you kids work. And she was completely blown away with how
it's teamwork, for sure, right?
They do a great job.
And that's the same thing with the tour. Like, we're partnered with the Greater Good, who one of their initiatives is the animal rescue side, and they have just a massive reach with what they do, and with Wild as well. So Wild Pet products, we're partners with them, so we were able to get our message out there, like, you know, 1,000-fold as to what we could have done if it was just us.
I love it.
So it's brilliant. So we're all on the same team, and we're just, you know, we're raising this $1 million. We're not stopping until we get to that point.
Yeah.
Write that down.
So we're getting there quickly.
I love it.
We're getting there quickly. We're very motivated to get there, to reach that goal for animal rescues.
Yeah, because you just said that on camera. So just so you know, you can't stop.
We can't
until.
stop.
We don't want this to be a 5-year
Do we
experiment.
have $1 million donor? Do we?
Yeah, we cannot stop, and I want to stop.
Do it for her. And just so you know, those of you that are watching on Vid Chat right now, if you do call in, a portion of your funds is going to go back to Bathe to Save in the Greater Good, so that they can go home. But a portion of your funds is going to go back. So feel free, call in, and a portion of your donation is going right back into the greater good and Bathe to save. So, okay, Rachel, tell us a little bit, anything you need to know about you or could know about you?
Nothing really particular, as Anthony just said. The mum of, these kids and homeschooling on the road, which is interesting. Thankfully, we have a great tutor here in Florida that helps them on Skype, and the kids do School of the Air back to Australia. And just, basically, my role in this whole thing is to work with our events coordinator and get events set up and, just keep the whole kind of show on the road. It's so difficult. It's difficult.
It's rewarding, but it's very, very
yeah.
challenging
I think,
with what we're doing. There's no question about it.
When one thing sort of doesn't work in the two of us, it really kind of throws everything out. But
You're a testament to that.
We get things fixed and we just keep motoring on, and it's a beautiful way to see the country. And it's, as I said, I feel really great that the kids are getting this experience. Even though they may not see it right now, I know that they are going to look back on this and say, wow, this is amazing, what we were able to achieve as far as animal rescues and raising money and awareness, and also just the experience of seeing the country.
Absolutely. And little entrepreneurs in the making, so they're learning business, right?
They sure are.
Even though on some of it, maybe they're setting up and you're on these calls doing other things, as a therapist and coach, I would say they're picking up on other things that you're doing.
They know every single person that I speak to so many people every day, and they know exactly who I'm talking to with my mannerisms or my tone of voice, whatever it is. And I say, that was Gary, wasn't it? That was Peter, wasn't it? How did you know that? But what I feel like is that being in that space, anybody that's our business partner or we're doing deals with, while we're literally on the road, they become a part of the family because we're all together. You can't go anywhere, and they're listening to every single conversation in detail. So that's actually a really good point.
They're so great with talking to people, so that's like one of the excellent blessings that have come out of this, that they can talk to anybody. So they, we will pull up to to an event, and the kids, Austin's already out there making relationships with the other vendors, and the kids, it's just incredible. They're all really good at talking to people.
We'll get to one of the RV parks, and maybe on the second day or whatever, Rachel and I will be walking around saying, oh, Anthony, Rachel.
Yeah, how do you know that?
And they say, oh, your kids are amazing, we'll go and get something.
And they've already Googled us, and they already know all about us.
They meet every single person in the RV park before we even get a chance to look at it.
And we're there for a night,
So you might have competition here. You better look out, Mom.
Oh, I'm more than happy. They can take over any time.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so tell us your name and tell us a little bit about your role in all of this.
My name's Austin.
Okay.
And I like washing dogs. It feels good to give back and knowing that you're doing something about it.
Yep, absolutely. So when you're, who came up with the idea specifically? I know the kids did, but was there one of you specifically?
Yeah, it was me.
Oh, okay, so tell me a little bit about that. So what exactly happened?
Well, after I knew that we got the big boy dog back, I wanted to do something about it. So I told, all of us kids got together, and then we went to my mum.
I like it, so you kind of teamed up.
They
So for you kids out there watching, you got to team up. That's how you do it.
And they also, at that point, we didn't have a dog ourselves, and they wanted to get a dog, and they were really learning about responsible pet ownership and what it took to, and they were watching all of these programs and realised the sad stories that so many pets don't get adopted, and they're in shelters for so long, and the kids put their heads together and said, what can we do?
Nice. And when they presented you with this plan, Mom and Dad, did you laugh about it and be like, or were you like, oh, let me think about this? How did it?
If I've got to tell the true story,
Yes.
well, I did say it on Larry King, so I guess we can have it.
Yes.
So after Rachel and the kids sort of spoke, Rachel woke me up in the middle of the night. I thought I was getting lucky. And it wasn't. Let's get a 40-foot RV. And I was like, how more disappointed but yet happy could you be? Yeah. So from that moment forward, I'm one of those guys that problem solve, can make things happen, and I was like, we're going to make this a reality. So from there, we just had to get the right relationships, talk to the right people that want to be a part of it, and there are so many people that we could not have done this without, like, even just getting emotional about it. When we talk to people like about Bonnie and Sean McSherry that have got the Cross Creek Ranch, they were such a big influence on helping us make this work. And then you've got people like Bonnie and Jay, down in Cranby, down in, where are they?
In
Fort Myers. There's just so many people that made it a reality for us. So, and then that's the type of thing that we're trying to, get their brands across the country. And, You know, sponsorship is a huge thing for us. And we've got our strategic partners,
Okay.
and now we desperately need the sponsors to, you know, keep moving it forward. And what they're going to get from us moving forward is just so dynamic, like being on, you know, incredible shows. You know, we found out yesterday that we're going to be doing a reality show or a documentary with the next 12 months. We're going to have a film crew following us. Yeah. So what we're trying to do is get, I don't know if the reality show's going to be that.
Well, you're doing it!
I'm saying after a few drinks, I just don't know what that's going to look like. So,
It'll be our reality.
So anybody out there that knows me, they know what I'm talking about. But I think with that said, it's people that we want to do in the next 30 days, get everyone together that wants a really massive national brand recognition on this show that we're going to be doing, because nothing else has ever been done like this. So we're getting a lot of opportunities are hitting us right now.
And we're doing every state the next 12, it's probably like about 13 months. All of that detail will be on the website in the next week. We're just finalising that.
Okay, and what's the exact website?
www.bathe2save.com.
Bathe2save.com. Okay, and so if people want to not only donate, but what if you do have someone that wants to sponsor?
Yes.
They can go to Bathe2Save?
Absolutely, they can go to the sponsorships page.
Okay.
If there's anyone that, when they can see where we're going to be, if there's any shelters or rescues out there that want us to help out, because we do, as we go, we wash as many dogs as we can for free at shelters.
Okay.
We also raise money by people donating across the country. So we'll be doing every state, we'll be doing all the major landmarks and having you know, a lot of media. So we're doing a bunch of stuff across the country for our sponsors and getting them exposed, expanding their brand.
So that's a great in return something.
Absolutely.
No, there's so many wins across the board, and typically let's just use Colorado Springs as an example. So we'll turn up to a shelter that's been organised through the Greater Good. So the Greater Good is supporting us by, they're attached to 7,500 shelters. They give grants to all the right people. They will find the right shelter, because we went through politically a nightmare in the beginning, because with the first 6 months, this is what we were doing. We thought 5 Australians, big blue dog, in an RV, we're just going to have people throw themselves at us. But we didn't have any social media following, obviously, because it was just an idea. So people were like, well, when you get more on social media, you know, we'll come on board. And it was frustrating because we'd completely been self-funding the whole thing. So we really needed to get some good partners. So when the Greater Good came on, we're up in Seattle. We went viral through the animal rescue side. And that, to me, was probably the biggest emotional family event we've ever been, because watching it going 10,000 views, 30,000, 50,000, and we're like, holy smokes! And we knew in that moment that something was going to turn. So what they do is they get us to the rescue event. We will have the media, normally the media there in the morning, like the morning crew. They'll sometimes do 3 or 4 segments. Once they go, we'll wash every single shelter dog, whether it's 5, I think our record's 73, for free, just to wash all the dogs. People know that we're coming there, and I think some of the highlights is, the reason I bring Colorado Springs up is the lady came out and said, you know, we just adopted Toby. So he's been here for 3 months, and it's because of the way that he was washed and blow dried and smelt so good, and saw that you guys, people want to be a part of the tour to say, we got a dog from the Bathe to Save tour. You know, that's starting to happen, which is pretty powerful.
Exposure with Wild and the Greater Good, they know that we're coming into town. So we get so many people see us on the road, and we have so much, you know, following now that we've been sort of on the road for a while. But with the Greater Good and Wild, that when they shout out we're going to be somewhere, people come down just to, you know, see what's going on and bring their pets down to get washed by us. But then that, you know, leads to adoptions at the rescue that we're at.
And then we have the big dog wash day that's been planned the next day, and often the Greater Good has already been getting people to donate. So the dog wash day we're always first to be there, last to leave. We wash as many as we can, and then we write them a big check. So now we've got another media exposed opportunity where we can write them a big check. So what happens from that? We tell everybody that there's going to be a discovery day with hydro dogs. So then when we leave, someone can stay behind with a big blue dog, and now they're attached to the shelter, they're attached to all the rescues, they've got their database, they're already booked in for that show next year. So they're starting to already immerse themselves into the community of being able to keep saving these dogs as their business models now grow. So now all of a sudden we're expanding. So what we do is one thing, but when Hydrodog sort of backs up everything we're doing, I mean, this could turn into something that we could say.
Wait, this will.
Yeah, exactly.
Where we're saving like thousands of dogs every year just through having these guys support the tour and the legacy after it finishes. So, so what I was just getting back to with that first 6 months, I swear to you, this is the truth, which is very, very hard to believe.
I love that we're getting all this truth in.
Yeah, no, because it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe that someone would do this. We drove from, I think our biggest drive, Rachel and I were talking about this. Mine was from Colorado to New York. It was 52 hours.
Only because when we say 52, it doesn't take that long to get there, but with our stops and all that sort of thing. So it was like a continuous
traffic and weather
drive and you add on with
just
the bus
tedious.
stuff.
And then we'll pull over and I might have a sleep for 2 hours and then we'll get going again, or I might have a 20-minute sleep and then we'll go again. So it was just, that to me was the hardest. The longest in distance was Seattle
to Florida.
To Tampa. That one was huge. That was non-stop.
Is that where you were just coming from?
We went from Florida to, from Seattle to Florida, then to Colorado, then from Colorado to New York. We've been in New York for a little while. We did a few events there, and we did the Rachel Ray interview there. Then we went from New York to North Carolina, where we did the Larry King. And so we came from North Carolina
to here,
which is when we say to the kids, the kids will say, how long? Oh, it's only like in GPS, it says 7 hours. So we add on an extra 3, so it's 10 hours.
Oh, is that
and
it? Just 10?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
That's nothing. 10 hours is nothing.
I truly do say that. That's nothing. I mean, they're so used to these distances. And we all think, it's only 7 hours. It's only 10 hours.
It's funny.
It's
funny how your mindset changes with that. But the reason we were doing it is, we had. What about when we went from Vegas to Knoxville? We're in Vegas. We just finished a morning show and we watched these dogs. I get a call from Harrison Forbes. He's a celebrity trainer, dog trainer that's been doing stuff with Kevin Harrington. So he said, listen, I'm really sorry, Anthony. There's an event on Friday here at Pet Safe in Knoxville. You're not going to be able to make it. I said, well, how long does it take to get this? It's at least 33 hours. I looked at my watch, it was 11 o'clock. I said, we will be there. It was Wednesday in Vegas and we had to be there at Friday at 9:30. You still will be there. He said, well, you don't want to push yourself. So anyway, I think I'm the only person who can drink a 5-hour energy and get 10 hours out of it. So we drove through the night. We saw, 3 sunrises? We saw the 3 sunsets. So we were sleeping intermittently to get there. And we were 3 hours and 45 minutes ahead of time, but we forgot about the crossing over in your time zone. Yay. So when we went from, we went from east to west, and it was like, shit, we've got 45 minutes. We've got 45 minutes to get there, and I think we made it in like 20 minutes or something like that.
Oh
Just
my God.
Unbelievable. So that was probably the one that we were most under pressure for, but that's what we were doing. And then when the Greater Good saw that we were doing these miles and getting on these morning shows, and I think we've done like 7 morning shows now where they've come out, and they were so interested with the, what do you put out there? A press release?
Yes.
And you don't know where they're coming from because we didn't have the following at the time.
Yeah.
So we were just going crazy places to get in on the back end of some really big dog wash events. And I think, I know for a fact that Noah, which is on the Greater Good, he was like, I've seen what you're doing. I know the time you're putting in. And that's what it took for him to do this video that goes viral. And then with the pet products, they're all the shampoos we use. They're covering us for the whole tour.
Wow.
They're working on all the media for us.
That adds up.
Oh, holy smoke, it's massive.
Yeah.
So without those 2 strategic partners, I don't know how we would be here where we are today.
Well, and I want to continue meeting the family, but something I want to throw out there, something that you probably have heard and I'm hearing in every single Dr. Jaime episode, no matter what the profession is, no matter who's on the show, you have to have support. In every single, no matter what we're talking about, someone always comes back to having support, having, whether it's mentors, whether it's support systems, whether it's friends, I mean, it's all about, I mean, and you even said it in the beginning, like, the people that brought this alive, yeah, you're doing it, and you're working in it, you're doing amazing, but there are people behind the scenes that are helping and supporting to push it forward.
Absolutely.
So, tip number one, no matter what you're doing, very important to have support, mentors, be open-minded to the people that want to help you along your journey. So, okay, so wrapping up, you came up with the brilliant idea that has have everyone doing amazing things across the country, right?
Yes.
So congrats, we owe it all to
And
this guy.
he's also he's the engineer of the tour. As far as the bus goes, he knows how everything works, and he's the
Nice. So kind of the technical side of things?
Yeah.
And he also helps me to direct the bus, turn the bus, park. I could not drive that without him because he directs me so well. And when, this is the funny thing, we get to some of these parks and the older people walk out and go, I've got this, I'll help you. Like, no, or my son will go, oh, sorry, will go, no, Dad won't let anybody else but me do that. And they go, well, let's just see what happens here. And he's so good. They come and go, he's amazing, he's amazing. I said, yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, well, you know, I wonder, Wes, if we can, we got people in the background here, take the camera and run down the block because this is a dead end. So
I know.
You have no idea what we're going to have to do, but we'll do it.
As we drove in here, it said dead end, and we're like, oh. Okay.
Yeah.
But
So if your reality show was here right now, they would be filming.
Exactly.
They're still going to film it. We get caught all the time.
So, okay, excellent. So tell us your name and tell us a little bit about your role.
Well, I'm Isabella, and I usually do mainly social media, and I collect the money and I help set up for the events.
Excellent, excellent. So tell us some of the things that work with social media, because maybe there's some people out there that want some tips on social media. What works for you?
Well, usually I just find the right event to do, because usually if it's a small event, you don't really need to post anything about. But when it's the right event, when there's like a lot of people close to the stand, I usually post photos of that.
Excellent.
And she's great for the live stuff. Live's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, we're doing Facebook Live right now.
Oh,
so yeah, hi, I'm Mom. So we'll publish this and then I'll send it over to you and you can share it. So excellent. Okay, yeah?
I was just about to say, Bella's just so good with the people.
Yeah.
Like she's got this sort of charisma about herself that really works. And it takes a lot of pressure off everything that we're all really good at. We can all do everything, but there's just a particular point where each of them is picking up their strengths, which is great to sort of see at this age of what that is. But you've got to give them that rope.
Yeah.
You got to, honest to God, there's no. I get very forceful about them, you know, getting out and doing it when we've got time frames. But outside of that, they absolutely do what they want to do that makes themselves feel good, that helps the whole family.
And she's also our head dog trainer, so she trains Bubbles.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's true.
Bubbles, so she's the one that's, you know, taught him all of these things and how to, it's great because I'm just a sucker, I'll just give him whatever he wants. Don't make him do anything, but Belle's, you know, she's, you know, taught him how to do certain things and to, you know, not do certain things. And
well, it's important that they practice what they preach and they stick to it because you're going to be going to schools, right? Talking about this, and that's going to be important to share. You know, when Mom's doing all these things that are wrong, you need to step in. And, you know.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Okay. Tell us a little bit your name and what you do.
My name's Aria, and I'm like a little bit of the main dog washer. I wash a lot of dogs.
Okay.
And help set up, and I also help do everything inside the bus, like clean it up and.
She is the hardest worker I've ever seen.
She's almost Cinderella.
Yeah, she's just incredible.
She does,
Excellent.
So she does a lot of the manual stuff and the dogs and
Yeah, it sounds like you could do it alone, but you need them.
Oh, we need them. Oh,
No, we could not do this. Absolutely no way.
No chance.
No chance.
No.
We'd have to hire someone.
The kids
We'd have to, I swear to God.
Do all of the washing. They've been qualified as dog washers, so they've been through it. They did a course of dog washing.
Wow.
So they do it properly, and with the roll products, they not just wash the dogs, but they give them like a little day spa. Like they go through a process of giving them a little pampering session, so it's like really cute with what they do. But they're trained to do it. The only time, you know, we always have two of them in there at any time, but Anthony will step in when there's a bigger dog. The little ones the kids can do on their own, but he'll be in there with the bigger dogs. But you know, we couldn't do this. They're the ones that they drive the whole show.
I love it.
That's the truth, absolutely. I just drive the bus.
Yeah.
35,000 miles in 6 months is just unheard of.
Oh my God.
But I really enjoy it. I, honest to God, the screen is so big and it looks like there's a movie unfolding in front of us. I absolutely love it. The only time I don't is when I'm hungover. And I'm so much better, aren't I? Very rarely do I drive it hungover these days. But when you do, you're on the whole time. So you know, like when you drive a car and the missuses get a loaf of bread and a carton of milk on your way home, and then you're in the driveway and go, shit, I forgot, because you go into that conscious, competent mind, and you're home.
And I love how his eye contact right now is with my husband, who's behind the scenes. He's like, you got me, right? You got me.
I need some support here. I see where this is going. But But in the bus, you're on 100% of the time. The semi-trailers go on each way. The wind picks up. It's raining, and you know you've got to watch how far you are. It's really the way that works is just so empowering of just you being in control of this bus. You seriously have no relaxed time. You're on the whole time. So when you're hungover, you're still recovering, and it's like 10 times worse. So I really can't stand it when I'm. But that doesn't happen as much as it did because I was celebrating that we're on this show.
I love the truth on this show. I love it. So it could be when you see the big blue Bathe to Save bus going by your house, there's a hungover driver.
Well, it's probably not because I won't drive hungover.
Yeah, I've got to that point where it just doesn't work. So.
And I don't drive the bus at all, and so I'm sort of sitting with him the whole time,
fantastic.
navigating,
Cooking toasted sandwiches, bringing coffee over.
I'm the hostess.
My husband calls that the co-captain. So
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
definitely.
Exactly. Yeah. I have a hat.
You have a hat, yes, I love it, I love it. Okay, so one of the things on the Dr. Jaime Show is we talk a lot about happiness and fulfillment, and business ownership is one of them, et cetera, et cetera. But specifically for you, Mom, how do you not, because I would, rip my hair out at some points, because even being in this home, which is bigger than the RV, I sometimes want to rip my hair out. How do you keep it all together? How do you kind of, if you need to step away and get you time, or you need a little space for a minute, do you get that opportunity at all?
Yeah, I think when we first started, I didn't.
Okay.
And I felt the consequences of that, because it really is a huge endeavour with having pretty much 5 adults in that space. And as a mother,
3 dogs in a row.
and 3 dogs in a row, but,
3 dogs in a row.
rabbits and a dog. But
Three dogs.
as a mother, you kind of go through all of you feel bad that the kids are, you go through this guilt, the whole, a bunch of different emotions. So I initially didn't really go so well, so I had to put down a few sort of non-negotiables for me, for me to be able to maintain my sanity.
Okay.
And that is to get some time by myself, to be able to,
I love that, non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Non-negotiables. So for you ladies, or even husbands and dads out there, you can have non-negotiables, right?
And you have to. I mean, I think you have to in life generally, but just especially on this tour where we sort of, everything was just unfolding and we were doing whatever we needed to do to get to wherever we needed to get to. So, we kind of flipped it all around and said, okay, this is now what we need to do to function really well as a family. And we do, and it was yesterday or the day before we were driving, and I was at the back of the bus and I looked up and the kids were all sitting around Anthony as he's driving, and I thought, this is precious. But, in a few years' time, they're not going to be there. We're not going to have this experience again.
Yeah.
And so it was I looked there and thought, wow, those moments are what makes it doable.
Yeah, that stop and grateful moment.
Absolutely. Yeah. So no, that's.
Yep. Kiddos, what about you? All right, what about you? Are you guys picking on Mom? You
They're laughing at me because I'm getting emotional about it.
Oh, I love it. All the guys on the show that come on the show get choked up. Is there something about me? And they're all like, okay, yeah, well, this is an emotional experience. I mean, you guys are investing effort, time, you're doing something that is amazing, you're giving back, you're watching your children grow from it, they're becoming better technically, they're becoming better with, with their personal skills. I mean, they're growing. This is and it's a huge bonding experience. I mean, there's emotion in every avenue of it. So,
definitely.
Kiddos, real quickly, so tell me some of the things for you that are pretty tough on this trip and how you're getting over it, because there are adolescents, teenagers that watch this show, and maybe they're not on the road, but they face issues with their parents, and sometimes they really struggle to overcome some of the interactions and things. So is there anything that you face that's kind of tough on this trip that you're working to overcome?
It's really privacy.
Yes.
There's only one bathroom and none of the doors have locks on them.
Oh. Yeah. Oh. While you're here, you can use my bathroom thing. I'll just stay in there for like an hour if you want. Okay, so privacy, that's a huge one. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a lot, like having space. So me and my sister sleeping in bunk beds, and like you can barely lift your head up, so you don't get a room or you don't get.
I can't. She said I can't lift my head up.
Bella can though because she has the big on, but it's just
But
having space isn't. It's a struggle.
Not optional.
I want to jump in. I want to say Austin gave up his, because Bella was originally outside on what's they call the Love Lounge that folds out into a little bed, and Austin gave up his bunk bed for his sister to actually sleep out the front in the little fold-out bed. So he sort of sleeps out away from the family while we're all in beds on the inside. So a bit of
I think there's a plan behind that actually, because I don't have my I thought it looked.
You got a sword and it was a trade.
Yeah, they traded
They
some
traded.
things. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so tell me, what's tough for you? So other than privacy and other than space, what's kind of tough?
Friends.
Mm-hmm.
Having you can't see your friends a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and yes,
Mm-hmm.
like you can't hang out with your friends or anything.
Yep. How do you keep? That is a big one. That's a huge one. How do you
Yeah.
how do you keep in touch with friends if you do?
Well, we all have phones,
Okay.
so we text them and call them and FaceTime them and stuff.
Nice. Excellent. Yeah, those are three huge issues, especially teenagers or entering teenagers.
Oh, it's
friends
huge.
and privacy and
Yes.
space.
Well, I'll tell you from my perspective is that the kids not being able to play any of the sports that they love, being around any family because there's zero family, but the people that would come into our lives are family, but being on the road, you don't interact with anyone but new people, which is great, but those ones as a parent, I guess, when you get in that traditional family environment, you do things what you've always done because your parents and your grandparents did. That doesn't exist with us whatsoever. And I think my advice to anyone is you can only get the most out of life if you put yourself in the most uncomfortable situations. And we are living proof that we put ourselves in the most uncomfortable situation, but the rewards that come out of it and the growth that comes out of it is exceptional. It's worth the hard work and the pushing of the boundary. I mean, it's one thing going from Australia to the US, but it's a completely different avenue going from a home and a school into a 40-foot RV. There's just, you can't even explain what that's like.
The really lovely thing is that we have met such great people and everyone is so welcoming, and the kids are getting experiences that normal kids at their age don't get. So, we have massive highs as much as the struggles are there. The highs are just, incredible, and the welcoming and the people that we meet are just we've not come across negative. Everyone's been so wonderful and welcoming and lovely, and we get to do things and see things that other people don't get to see. So.
Well, if people want to help build other people's dreams, when you surround yourself with the right people, they want to help you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So, as we're talking about business, is there anything that you guys, I know that you've built successful businesses along the way, but now you're kind of starting back again, right? We're building this, we're amping it up. I mean, you know what to do, but what would you give out there to new business owners or people that are looking in 2017 to kind of get out of the corporate world and start their own business? What kinds of tips would you share with them? Because it is a lot of tears and breakdowns and sweat equity up front. Any advice?
I'm going to start off because I know this is my number. This is what I see in Anthony as an successful entrepreneur, is that it's about mindset and it's about learning to live in the moment, learning to live in the right now, and not spending your time in the what ifs and in the negative, and which is it's a practice. It's really hard to do, and that's the sort of definitive thing that I've found that we're able to do what we do is because Anthony and I, practice it. I have to keep bringing myself back there, but he truly, truly lives in the moment, and he's able to create great relationships because he lives in that place and doesn't go into any time goes into a negative state. It's all about his mindset and his ability to generate, to keep on that momentum.
What do you say?
Aww.
Very good. Yeah. Emotionally.
Surprise at Cinderella.
Oh, I love it. So something we didn't know, surprise at Cinderella. Cinderella. But yeah, and that's often what I tell clients, to my clients, in fact, is, I've had clients that have done things, it could be anything, job related, not job related, and they start thinking about the what ifs. So you can sit here and be like, what if we didn't do this? Maybe we could have just done this. And what if that? And what if that? Well, what if we should have done that? Or maybe we should have gone there. If you spend all of your energy and all of your time thinking about the what ifs, you're not channeling your energy toward the one thing you have in front of you. And if you put energy into it, it probably would blow up and be amazing. There's this great quote by Lisa M. Hayes, and she says, be careful how you're talking to yourself because you are listening.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's really cool.
It's awesome, and it's so true. And if you're beating yourself up about the mistakes you've made instead of learning from them, well, you're listening to that hatefulness that you're saying to yourself.
Yeah. You know, and to me, it's not about positivity, it's about being grateful. Rachel talking about the kids being up the front of us. If you're in that grateful or that gratitude moment, it's so difficult not to live in that moment. You know, and being positive comes out of being grateful. So if you're going to ramp yourself up and say today's going to be a great day, today's going to be a great day, but if you flip that around and just think of exactly what you have right now that's so powerful, that puts you into that state of mind that just makes it work.
It does. It's so true. I had an experience the other day. My husband and I, we recently got a spa, and for most of you that follow me, every day I feel like my dreams are coming true. I own what to me is my dream home. I have a beautiful view, and I was sitting in the spa with him, and I was looking out the window of it into the sky. There were stars. There was a palm tree in the background. There was the moon, and I'm looking through the spa, by my house, through the pool, to the canal, and I'm like, this is mine. Wow. All of everything we've ever worked for and is right here. What we're building is here. And it was such a powerful moment for me to stop and be grateful and thankful. I can't believe it.
Yes.
But I worked for it.
Yeah.
I had breakdowns. I mandated alone time.
Oh my God, that's great.
But yeah, I know how powerful being grateful truly is. You know. Okay, so tell me this. There's a story behind it. You can show the story. You cannot show the story. Tell me something about these 7 habits of highly successful people. Why do the kids know this when they're not yet like 30?
Well, I think it all started about when one of the biggest things for me. So I've obviously written a book, and it's a bestseller with Kevin Harrington, off the Shark Tank. So
what's the name of the book?
It's called How to Catch a Shark.
And how can we get it?
You just go to howtocatchashark.com.
Bam.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and what happened is one of the things I state is success to me was when we drive from the home to the school. We do this mantra every day, which is just positive, outbursts, and part of it was the.
You should do that. You should do the mantra.
I know.
And we just.
We haven't done it in so long.
What?
Credit Roger with the.
Oh yeah, Roger Salam is a great he's a great
Yeah.
friend of ours, and he'd do this thing and he'd say, "Who has heard of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People?" Everybody puts their hands up. Says, "All right, who knows the 7?" And probably about half of them put up. So who can do it from 1 to 7? Nobody puts their hand up. So what we did is that in part of that mantra was to do that on the way to school, and as they would turn around, they'd wave goodbye. I'm thinking, this is success. Like, these kids just know stuff. So and that's what it was. But now we're not going to school, and we don't religiously do it as much as what we used to, because when you talk about routine, we don't have one. So getting those little things is pretty good. So do you guys?
Do you remember?
Can each of you give me one?
Or do you want to do
We
it?
can do it together.
Okay.
We know all of them.
Okay.
All right, you ready? Go.
Number 1, be proactive. Number 2, begin with the end in mind. Number 3, put first things first. Number 4, think win-win. Number 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Number 6, synergize. And number 7, sharpen the sword. Number 8, leave a legacy.
So number 8, leave a legacy, was pretty much Roger's add-on to the 7 habits. So they're the habits that.
So Roger asked them to learn them, and he was going to give them some cash if they learned them, and they learned them pretty quickly.
Wait, I will
My dad had the book in, and he was like, guys, I'm going to start just when you come home from school, I'm just going to surprise you with them, and you have to know them.
Yeah.
So that he just surprised us.
Because as part of Roger's routine, when he would do that at every event, and each event there was pretty much new people, but there were still older people that still didn't learn it from the last time. So when we did it, Roger was like, I can't believe that you guys know this. So yeah, so they've got it stuck. And
have you ever used it? Like, have you ever been in school and thought about one of them? Like, it helped you in any way, or no?
Really,
really.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it took them. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, no.
I think it took them a while to they learnt it,
Yeah.
wrote, and then they. I'm sorry, Austin. And they now know what it means. So when they say those, it's about.
Now there's more meaning behind it.
More meaning.
How has it helped you? How have any of those helped you?
Like, be proactive, like you just gotta, and like be proactive. It's just, I don't know, just thinking of them has really helped me.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't really explain it, it's just, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's going to help you on this business tour.
Yeah.
And I think as they get older, they're going to start. And one of the things I did from when they were like, how old you were when I dropped off at school? 4, 5.
Yeah.
I would always kiss them 3 times and say integrity, courage, honour, and proud, because I'm an Amos. So we do that every morning. But that
we need to be part of this family.
You should do the.
I don't know if I can remember all that now.
Yes, you can. You know. Okay.
Ah.
This is the part of the mantra.
This one's, we haven't done this one for a while, have we?
Okay.
Alright, you ready? Is everybody happy?
I'll let you laugh, we are.
Who's on fire?
I'm on fire.
Whose day is it?
My day.
Want to soar like an eagle?
Don't hang around turkeys.
If you follow the crowd,
You always have the
who's the
exit.
best team in the world?
Our family.
Who's the best mummy?
Mommy.
Who's the best daddy?
Daddy.
Who's the best Bella?
Bella.
Who's the best Rosie?
Maria.
Who's the best Austin?
Austin.
Never ever?
Give up.
What day is it?
Today.
No. What time is it?
Now.
Yeah, what time is it?
Now.
And the moment?
This moment.
Don't be a sheep.
Be the shepherd.
So I think there's a couple more, but we did that forever. We did that for years.
It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a ton more of those, but we haven't done that mantra since we started the tour. So.
Well, now you need to bring it back.
I think that's a good idea.
That might empower you guys on the road.
Get it up and make it moving in the mornings.
For the tough days. I should have, when they said the 7 habits of highly successful people, I felt like they should have had a mic in their hand and they should have just dropped it at the end. And just walked off the show.
Yeah, I love that. That's really, we'll have to do that. We'll have to do that somewhere.
Okay, so we're on sort of the countdown here, and I forgot one of the most things that I love about the Dr. Jaime Show is I present a quote, and you tell me whether or not you agree with that quote. Usually we do it in the beginning, but we're going to do it here toward the end.
Okay.
And so for most of you out there, you know I love quotes. I could have had like 30 quotes, but I only have, I did narrow it down to 1. I have people talking to me in the back, so I just got lost for a second with it. Okay, so here is the quote, and all of you are going to answer this, and tell me if you agree with this or not, or if you partially agree, partially disagree. The key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities.
Oh.
Does that make
Yes.
Yes?
Well, that was my whole, that was the turnaround for me is, I was, I wasn't prioritizing what I needed to get done for me.
Okay.
So absolutely, I completely 100% agree that you need to prioritize what it is that's important to you to get done, rather than being reactive. You need to be proactive.
And so often we spend so much time like just creating a list of to-dos, and we're like, oh, we have to do it, but it's not like dealing with the bigger picture, what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's just keeping us on this cycle of just, I'm busy, I'm just busy, I'm busy.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you? Do you agree with that?
Well, I do, but I have it in a different format, because anyone out there that's learnt to really live in the moment and be present, then that's priority. So it doesn't matter what it is, it's what's out of your control that you might think it is a priority, but I don't go to them because they're not in my face, they're not emotionally connected to me right now. And everybody is all driven by emotional content, and for me, if you're emotionally engaged and you're present with someone, that's the priority. So then anything that you can do today, like if I've got to post a letter and go down to the post office and it's shut, like, oh no, I've got to post it tomorrow. Okay, how am I going to forget about it? Just put the letter on the table and wait for tomorrow comes around and say, okay, can I fit it into today? So I agree in one sense, but if you're going to prioritize, then you're going out of it living in the moment. If that makes any sense. So my priority is being present and living in the moment, and then everything that I can be in control of unfolds after that.
Excellent. What are some of your specific priorities, like maybe 4 or 5 of them, if you can tell us right now, launching the start of the Bathe to Save tour? What are your main priorities?
Yeah.
Oh, the sponsorship is absolutely the #1 priority. Maintaining these great strategic partnerships and giving the value and the ROI for the sponsors and the guys that want to be a part of it. That's big for us, isn't it?
And yeah, we're also in the process of planning out our tour, so for the next 12 months as far as our major events goes. Reaching out to the various rescues, which we do via the Greater Good and the Animal Rescue site, but sort of solidifying our tour for our tour dates. So we're really kind of locked in. So in the first few months that we've been travelling, it's been very sort of sporadic. We've been jumping from spot to spot. But the priority truly right now is to get all of that locked down. And then we've got wiggle room in the middle to do if there's a rescue or if there's some sort of something that we feel like an initiative we feel like we want to help. Then we can just jump in and help that at the time as well. So we've got enough room in our schedule to be able to jump to here and jump to there if we need to. But we have locked down events as well.
And having fun is a big priority for us too. We want to make sure we're having fun, even though it gets intense and we've got to get stuff done. It's all about having fun.
That's actually a great tip to share with people that are starting out your own business venture of any kind, or even if you've been doing the same thing for a decade, is to don't forget to have fun. When April was on the show earlier, she was talking about how she ended up being mom. She had 3 kids under the age of 5. She's trying to start these business. She was on the verge of divorce, and she looked at herself in the mirror and said, "Where did I go? Where am I? I'm not here anymore. I used to be fun." And she felt like she lost herself. And I think that's important, is that part of balance in life, and no matter what venture you're on, is making sure that you still have fun with the life that you've been given. You do only get one, so making sure that you do have fun. Okay, all right, you 3, really quickly. Tell me whether or not, and this is a hard one for me to probably understand. Is he okay?
They're all tired.
I
They got
bet.
to bed late last
We've
night.
been
We've
traveling through the night.
It takes you out here.
Oh, you're so cute. Okay, real quickly on the quote, the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. Does that mean anything to any 3 of you, or talk about your priorities?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, what does it mean to you?
It means to live in the moment.
Okay.
To me.
Yep, absolutely. What are some of your main priorities right now?
Making Dad happy.
Just say.
To be nice to people and help my parents out during the trip.
Okay, so really helping your parents do this. Okay. What about you 2? What are your priorities right now?
Well, mine are, we've got to get through this to be able to raise all this money and to be able to be done with the trip, and I need to think how amazing this is going to be when we look back and remember all these great times that we've had. And so I've just got my priorities are to just like I already said, live in the moment and just take everything as it is and just be so happy.
And it sounds like having a strong mindset for her is definitely important.
Huge. These kids' mindset is just ridiculous. Austin wavers in and out sometimes because he's that young man.
Goes into Austin World.
Austin World.
Yeah, I go into Dr. Jaime World sometimes.
But they really are. Collectively, they've just got such a strong will about themselves. They do things on their own. They never give up until something's done. And I got to tell, we haven't sat down with them and said, this is how you've got to do that. We guide them the best way we can, but they pretty much, they are who they are.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, and last but never least, what are some of your priorities right now?
To always stay positive and never get negative, because you always have to stay positive to move on.
Absolutely.
And your skateboards, Austin wants to do a skateboard line of jewelry and clothing.
Ooh.
Inspired on fire.
Nice.
So that's something that, and the kids are all doing this entrepreneurial program at the moment with, so My Day, Isabella's doing some inspirational quotes on shirts and things and jewelry.
Can we find any of this stuff? Is this anything that we can
It's
see?
just started. We've just sort of started brainstorming because they've said what can we sort of do now that can be ours, even though that, look, they are the bloodline of the Bathe to Save tour, but we're on the front end of piecing it all together, and they just want to have something that's theirs, you know, and they absolutely deserve to have that.
So
Which might help them too during some of the sacrifices that they're making,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
What were you gonna say?
Yeah, it'll be on the Bathe to Save
Yep.
site at some point,
Good.
as far as, you know, directing, and in their blogs as well. They're just starting to blog, so they'll be blogging, so it'll be all in that.
Awesome, excellent. Now, before the show, we were talking something about jewelry and being
Yes.
able to, talk to us
Yes.
about that. Is there anything we can get?
Yeah, there is. So if you go onto Bathe to Save store,
Okay.
we have a range of jewelry on there and t-shirts. So
Okay.
the jewelry is like really pretty, kind of, you know, mid-priced,
Okay.
you know, very wearable, really nice animal-related, rescue-related jewelry.
Nice.
And we have some really cool t-shirts and
Very
sweaters
cool
and things
shirts, yeah.
on there. Yeah, and we also have one of our partners is Angels to the Rescue.
Okay.
So angelstotherescues.org, and we'll actually have them on our site as well, but they have a fantastic range of wristlets and you know, bracelets and wristlets, like really cute things on there as well, and they do a lot of work.
And
for
all
animal
the
rescues.
money 100% goes to the tour.
Yeah.
So every single cent that's done
Yeah.
pushes this
Yeah.
63-foot train around the country.
Wow.
63 feet.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I know.
Right.
Yes.
And that's outside my house right
Yeah,
now.
I know.
Okay, and so we can get all of these awesome items by going to bathe2save.com.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
And going to shop and jump on the shop,
Yeah.
and then you've got your whole list
Okay.
of stuff you can purchase.
Is there anything else that you want to leave us regarding Bathe to Save? Anything we didn't touch on? Anything that the viewers need to know to be able to help or support or grow this business?
I think to also check out Wild.com, like Wild Pet.
Okay.
And also the Greater Good, because all the products we use are sold through Wild, and they're phenomenal, you know, fantastic shampoos and different products and
Okay.
brushes and everything. They've got a full range.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's a lot of people
Well.com or
ask us.
wellpet.com?
Wild Pet.
Okay.
Wall. Yeah,
Wall.
Wall. Yeah,
I-
W-A.
I want
W-A.
to leave everybody with this. So if you can picture seeing us in the distance, and you're on the highway, you're in the fast lane.
Are we in traffic or no?
Yeah, traffic's sporadic, but
Okay.
you can see us in the distance, and it's like, what is that big blue mirage type thing up there? And all of a sudden you see this big blue dog face that puts a smile on your face. Even if you don't like pets, it puts a smile on your face. So as the people see it, they then come into the slow lane, they take a photo of the dog's face, and down the bottom it says every photo helps save a life, so they, you know, put it on the internet. So when you see us, put it on social media somewhere, whether it's Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Then when they drive along the road, they look at this, it's what, 14 foot tall, 13 foot tall?
Yeah,
And they see just how big it is, and they get to the front, they want to see who's driving. So when I see them do this all the time, my advice, I guess, to people, you've got to do something that you just love so much that it makes you feel that good that people are happy about it. And we've just organised this big blue dog head, so I'm going to be driving along with this big blue dog head, and when people turn around, they're going to see this big blue dog that's driving the bus.
I love it!
So yeah, that's on its way.
Are
So
you going to wear the big blue dog hat?
Did you get me a co-pilot?
Not
dog?
yet,
No,
no,
not yet.
just-
No, okay, so no,
That's
I'll
gonna
be
look
wearing
really
the
good.
co-pilot hat.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So give us the rundown. Bathe2save.com.
Yep.
What else? Anything else we can do to contribute? We can become sponsors through
Yes,
going on
and
Bathe.
there's different levels of sponsorship.
Okay.
So jump on and have a look at all of that and
Okay.
contact. You can contact us directly, and Anthony can talk to
Okay.
whoever about that. And yeah, there's other ways to donate. Donate online. It goes directly to us. You'll via the Greater Good, and the Greater Good then do grants. So if we're raising money for a particular rescue in a particular area, the funds go straight to the Greater Good, and they grant it back to that rescue. So everything we do is pretty much kind of locally based. So when we're coming into a town,
Yep.
we'll create an event, and all the money raised goes to the Greater Good, and they grant it back. So, and it's all 100% of proceeds. We don't take any, it's not a profit thing. It's 100% of proceeds.
Nice.
Everything that we raise. So it's
And I just want to say, you know this too well, being a part of a mastermind group sets yourself apart from just being a normal entrepreneur. And the board of advisors that I'm a part of has been so profoundly engaged with what we're doing and the direction that we've gone into. And as far as advice goes from the entrepreneur, when you're talking about coming through and you're hurting and you're not sure what to do, you've got to find a great mastermind group that you can have. Like there was 28 people there last time that you pitched to 20 minutes. You get to know them all personally. You find out which ones can work with you. I'm working with, I think, 9 of them out of the group. 3 of them came on as sponsors, and that all came from just wanting to support someone that they've gotten to know that really cares about, you know, the group. So I think being part of a mastermind, when you were talking about advice before, that's something like that. So Board of Advisors has definitely had a huge impact on our family for sure.
I love it. So getting yourself in networking, the Board of Advisors, surrounding yourself with people that are like-minded and that want you to do well and want to support you.
Yes.
Thank you for being on the show, entire
That's
family,
Thank you
for driving and breaking down and getting here and making it happen. I appreciate you coming. Thank you very much. Go to bathe2save.com. Help this family right here. You can become a sponsor. You can donate. 100% of the money is going back into their business. So please, bathe2save.com. And right here, our next show will be 12/23, the Dr. Jaime Show. We are doing a special 4 p.m. episode where we will have Rob Herbert and Craig Thompson on here. They are an amazing band with Backbeat Entertainment, and they're going to play live for us on 12/23 at 4 o'clock. Have a wonderful Friday. Happy Friday. All right.